Welcome back to the 44th episode of the Betsy Ross Jeep project. The last time we were out here working on this project, we got it running. Really super stoked about that. Today our goals are to try to get this guy driving under its own power. I want to see if the transmission works, and I want to see if the brakes and everything work, but we got to get things tightened up before we can do that. So hopefully we can get this.
Why is
going.
it taking so long?
Well, it's a big project, man. I mean,
You made it a big project.
it needed to work.
Look at it. I mean, it looks
Just
so good now.
Dragging it out for the views, man. When you're older, you're gonna want to watch
Everything's
this,
just a little
you're
video.
gonna
Just
remember,
get
she's
it-
gonna remember
just
her
get
whole
it
life,
done.
but you're gonna forget. Because
I
when you're
want
older,
my shop
now,
back.
You're gonna want to watch this.
You gotta get this thing done, man.
Well, we will. We will. We will. Let's get to it.
Fine.
Okay, in reality, that is what we're trying to do today. We want to try to get this thing rolling. I want to see if the transmission works. So I got to get this thing kind of connected. I got to get the drive shaft connected, and then I've got to get the front end connected. So if it's going to roll, I got to have steering and brakes. And the steering is only partially connected right now. So I'm going to grab some steering components. I'm going to put them on. I'm going to tighten up the front axle, because now we have weight on the axle. I can tighten all the suspension bolts. And then I'm gonna make a list first. It really is a pretty short list for this. Don't know how long it's going to take me to get it done, but I'm going to start working on it and see how much we can get. Hopefully by the end of this video we'll have it, we'll know whether or not forward and reverse work. Okay, I think the nicer drive shaft that over here in the corner, at least the closest one to me right now, is that one, and that's the e-brake piece that we're going to need. So I'm going to grab those guys out, and then I'm going to compare them to the ones that I have in the basement, because I have multiples and I want to pick the nicest one. I want to spray it with a little bit of paint. Go from there. Oh yeah, that one is in really good shape. So I want to go check out the other ones, but aside from the little bit of surface rust, it's in good shape. So we can use that. Hopefully it works well for us. The next closest one is in here. This is the donor. We'll carry that one in too. See what that looks like. None of them are worth digging out. We'll use one of the two we got. All right, this one has bound up U-joint a little bit, so even though the outside is kind of maybe a little bit better than, I don't know, this one's better because this one has a good enough U-joint to start with. We're gonna get that rust cleaned off a little bit and spray it with some paint. Now you may be asking yourself, why doesn't he do a better job painting that? You can ask yourself all you want to. I'm not going to answer it. Just kidding, I'm going to answer it. I don't know if it's going to be our final drive shaft. You know, I'm going all this work, I'm doing all this effort. May end up needing an SYE, so I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on that. If I end up needing an SYE with the slip yoke eliminator, but that's down the road. This is just a, hey, maybe this stays, maybe it doesn't. Doesn't have to be nice, it's underneath the Jeep. Keep going. Alright, well, we're under here trying to put this drive shaft in, and we found something that's going to make it hard, because that's the way we do it. Don't know how I didn't catch this before, but whoever took the drive shaft out snapped off a bolt. I don't think it was us. I think it was the previous owner, because this one didn't have the drive shaft in it, I don't think. I don't remember. Either way, I forgot or didn't know about that, and so I'm going to take the whole yoke off and try to drill it out, and if I can't drill it out, I'll go get the yoke off the other one. Always just more broken bolts. We got that out. I also pulled the seal out because that had some evidence of leakage anyway. So I'm going to try to weld a nut onto that. I was going to try to drill it out, then I was thinking, oh, you know what, probably better to just weld a nut on there, try to back that out. If I can get it out, great. Otherwise, I think we might go hunting in the basement and see if we can find another one, because I'm pretty sure I have multiples. So here we go. A little tack weld on there. Just one broken bolt after another. That's all we do around here. Another night, and got that painted up. That's the mounting point for the parking brake. I did a bunch of running tonight, and I picked up the seal. We got that all out and sorted, but it is 17 degrees out right now and snowy, and it's cold. So I'm gonna try to get this guy in and see how much we can get done tonight. But this video's taking a lot longer to get done because it's just been a little bit at a time and very little progress. But before the end of it, we're gonna have it driving, or at least moving under its own power, hopefully. The reason I was all over the place tonight was this guy. 3 different auto zones, 4 different part numbers. None of them were associated with this Jeep or that axle. It actually said 8 1/4 ring gear. Wasn't the right one. Always take the old part with you if you're going to AutoZone. I ended up Googling a part number that I knew worked and then cross-referencing it, and they sent me to a different store that had the right one. But at least that one we know fits, and so now I can put a little bit of schmutz on the outside of that, put that in there, and then put this guy back in, and we're back to where we started a couple days ago. You can see on here where that seal is supposed to ride. Actually supposed to ride down in this groove, and there's a bunch of dirt on there. So I take some emery cloth and cloth to try to get that cleaned as best that I can. That looks much better. It's almost kind of like pitted and ribbed a little bit. But put some lube on there. Should be okay. I forgot the other gloves. Oh, this one. The other. Please. With. Well, I found it, but I lost it again. So this guy goes in nya, like nya. A lot of guys are going to tell you to replace that, but we're not going to do that. So honestly, this is the type of thing where you should probably put a new crush sleeve in there and reset the bearing, but instead we're going to just kind of ugga-dugga-dugga. We're going to zip this guy back on there. Come on. Like that. Make sure that it's, you know, some Guten tights. So I'm not going to use the impact because that actually could crush the sleeve. So the reason that I don't want to put too much force on it is because it's a crush sleeve axle. And if you tighten it up too much, it'll crush the sleeve and pull the bearings together too much, and then it'll put too much preload on the bearings and you'll overheat your axle or burn out your bearings. So, but you want to get it tight enough. So torque spec on them is around 200 or 250 pounds, but it takes like 300 to crush the 300 or 400 to crush the sleeve. So if I put it in there and I just kind of tap it like that, that's no big deal. And then I'll use this, and it's unlikely that I'm going to crush the sleeve more, but I want to make sure that it's tight enough that it doesn't come loose. I'm about ready to drive it off the stand. Okay. That's good enough for me for now. Okay. Now, we're pretty well back to where we started the other day, which is bolt in the goad shaft. So we slide it on there. Oh, nice and smooth. Set it in here. Okay. I did mention that it's 17 degrees out, right? My shop has heat and insulation. It's still kind of cold down here. Okay, come on in here and have a close-up. What we're doing right now. Let's do it. Okay. Yeah. We got more to go. We'll see you in a minute. Okay, next up is get the parking brake working. Now, is the parking brake absolutely necessary to be able to make this thing drive under its own power? No. But it is necessary to get all these dangly bits up so that we are not, so that we're not dragging them if we go for a test drive. And so, rather than zip tie them, I put it on the list to make it done. However, I just went to install this guy right here. It goes in here like this, mounts right there. There's a hole for the bolt, and there's a broken bolt. So, oh, I don't remember taking that off. I don't remember breaking that off. But here we go. Here we go again. That one I don't think I'm gonna try to get it out. I think I'm gonna just drill and tap. But not tonight because it's darn near 10 o'clock. I'll come back at that tomorrow. We'll see you guys in a few. Welcome back. It's the next night. Nothing has happened since I... Is it the next night? Anyway, we're going to drill this hole out here. Boy, the internet teaching that trick with that has been lifesaver sometimes. All right, next bit. Next bit. That's fine. Another pro tip. You put your drill bit size in a bag with your tap, then you always know what size bit. You don't have to go hunting for it in your stuff. How we get to start back where we get to go back and start where we finished off, where start back over again where we wanted to. And we're gonna do the thing. Oh yeah. Ta-da. Crawling around under the Jeep for about 25 minutes or so. I got the suspension tightened. I got the shocks tightened. The next thing I got to work on is steering, and then I also need to tighten the track bar. I was really hoping to get this video wrapped up tonight, and part of the video I was hoping to do was to drive it. So the thumbnail was supposed to be "It drives." But it is like 12 degrees outside. All the roads are covered in salt. And even just to back it out of my shop, it will get covered in snow. So, it's not going to drive anywhere. But I am going to start it up and see if it'll move forward and backwards. And if that it works, then the thumbnail will be "It moves." So I'm not going to mess with the steering. I'm going to move that to another day. And I'm going to set you guys over here and point you at it. I'm going to start it up and I'm going to put it in gear. I'm going to see if it comes forward. And then I'm going to put it in reverse. And I'm going to see if it goes backwards. And if that works, then it's not what we wanted to be done today. But I am running out of time this week. And well, I'll leave it at that. Running out of time. Got to get the video going because it's been almost 2 weeks since I posted anything. And, well, y'all are wondering what's going on. I just know it. So, thanks for waiting with bated breath. Let's see this thing move. I got some blocks on the ground. I got the tires on the ground. I got the battery hooked up. I'm gonna see if I can get this guy to move. So if it'll start right now, then it'll move. And y'all just hang out on the jack here. Okay? So just hang out right there. I got blocks on the ground in case the brakes don't work. Brakes should work because we tested them, but here we go. Ruh-roh. It's low on fluid, right? It's low on fluid. That's bittersweet. it moves. I gotta get my scan code out. I gotta see what's wrong with it. Here's where we sit. So it goes reverse perfectly fine. It's tight, it's working. It's got fluid. It's a little low, but it's got enough fluid. It should be driving. When you put it into drive, it has no forward power. It's like it's in fourth gear and it won't go. Third, same thing. You go into the 1-2 and you get first gear and it seems like it's gonna pull. So that tells me that the engine light's on probably for a reason. We probably have a ground wire or a plug or something disconnected somewhere, and the transmission control module is not getting a signal. So that means maybe the transmission is healthy. Hopefully. At this point I don't know for sure, but the fact that I got strong movement in first gear kind of tells me maybe we're good. I got to get it out on the road to see for sure, and I got to plug into it with the OBD scanner before I'll know for sure. So that's where I'm going to end it off tonight. It definitely moves, but it's not ready. It's not ready for prime time. We're going to get there. Thank you so much for stopping out. You hit that subscribe button, come back and see us running it. It's not going to be long now. I got a couple more weeks, and this thing needs to be out of my shop. So thanks so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time.